Good afternoon and welcome to the Perkins Garage's YouTube channel for an MG ZS Excite walk around video. But before we get started with the walk around, if you were enjoying the Perkins Garage's content, if you click on the subscribe button, that would mean you will never miss a moment of me talking about cars ever again. And that is very exciting. This here is a Black Pearl MG ZS Excite featuring the 1.5 litre Vti-Tech engine producing 106 PS of power. That 106 PS of power is then transmitted through a 5-speed manual gearbox. The ZS is registered on a 2022 registration, meaning we're taking MG warranty with us until March 2029. The vehicle has done just over 18,000 miles, but like always, I'll get the exact number once we're on the dash in a moment. So let me walk you around this beautiful Black Pearl MG ZS. So what we're going to do to begin is I'm going to present to you the remote central locking key in all of its glory. And when I click on the unlock button, that will wake up the indicators. And just inside there, they did light up very momentarily, is also the daytime running lamps. So the daytime running lamps will give the ultimate visibility no matter the lighting condition. And that is thanks to the Vti-Tech light technology. You can see that light technology headlights, which are going to give you some amazing visibility. Moving around the front bumper now, we can see that nice wavy style gloss black front grille with the beautiful MG badging in the middle. Moving around the bumper now, and we eventually come to the offside front wheel. These are the 17-inch Typhoon alloys, so they can be considered as a machine cut. So you have the silver shiny face with the gloss black just behind. We also have silver painted brake calipers just there, and we also have metal valves. So that is a TPMS sensor, a tyre pressure management system, and what that will do is give you live tyre pressure readouts on the infotainment screen, and it will also alert you if you did have a rapid deflation as well. Looking at the windscreen quickly, if you can see it, that there is a light sensor for the automated lights. So as the sun goes down and the moon comes up, your lights will come on automatically. Further north, we have the silver painted roof rails. So if you do plan on putting a roof box on this one, that is not a problem whatsoever. Back down to earth now, we're going to start to make our way around the offside of the body. So at this stage of the video, I take a step back and try to demonstrate to you how beautiful all of these panels are. So again, starting nice and high, just gently rocking the camera. I think that should give you a good understanding of how beautiful it all is. Then we can link that to the near side rear wheel. Again, a beautiful 17-inch Typhoon alloy wheel. And the tyres fitted are the Maxes as standard. Moving ourselves around the rear bumper now, the ZS Excite features rear parking sensors, and you can see those trailing along that bottom lip of the bumper there, giving you a rear park pilot. We shall have a look inside the boot in just a minute, but before we do, let's just give the near side the exact same treatment. So again, starting nice and high up, just gently rocking the camera down the near side of the body. And we can link that to the near side rear wheel, and then we can follow it all the way down to the near side front wheel and give you a good look at that. Okay, so that is the exterior taken care of. Let's talk about the interior. So unlocking the vehicle, we can use the MG badge that will double up as a little pulley clasp to open up the very large volume rear boot. So we have a few party pieces with this one. This is a multi-height level floor. So when you do fold the seats down, I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach you over cameraman. When you fold that seat down, you get a nice flat entry all the way across. And also if you're loading heavier objects in, you haven't got that massive lip to load the item in. So it's not going to put any strain on your back. If you required a higher volume, simply pull this outwards, pop it down into the lowest position, and that'll get you maybe another 7 inches of volume at the bottom there. So it's a really nice, effective design to maximise your storage capabilities. You can remove those nettings if you require getting golf sticks in there, not a problem. I'm told under good assurance that you can get your whole golf bag in there, but you have to take out your driving stick. So your driving stick goes, because it's longer, diagonally, but the golf bag will sit in there not a problem. If animals is more your forte, I reckon 2 Cocker Spaniels in there, not a problem, or 1 large Doberman, depends how big the Doberman is, or a gazelle maybe. There we are. That's inside the boot of this beautiful ZS. Let's have a look inside the rear. Okay, so starting by looking at the beautiful door cards. So we have hard plastic at the top and a nice silver bit down the middle, soft touch synthetic leather on all the door cards. It's that beautiful carbon fibre scheme with the red stitching. It looks really lovely. 4 electric windows, and we have 1 control on every door card. Spinning the camera around now, the Excite comes with a cloth interior, so it's a dark charcoal with like a grey cross stitch pattern in the middle. Again, it's all defined by that lovely red stitching. The ZS can be a perfect family car. So what I mean by that is we have 2 ISOFIXing seats, 1 on the left hand rear and 1 on the right hand rear. When they're a bit older and they have iPods, iPads and everything in between, they're going to need to charge their devices, so I give you 2 USB-A ports in the back of this vehicle. The previous owner installed these mats and they were so lovely we left them in there as well. So if you require floor mats, don't worry about it, they're here already. Now we can have a look inside the front of the vehicle. So open up the driver's door, we have all 4 window controls with rear child locking found just beneath it. Nice little cubby hole there to maybe put your wallet in. Interior locking can be found just next to the door handle. Spinning the camera around once again to look at the driver's and passenger seat. Again, some perfect condition cloth interior, very padded, can be very durable and going to last you the test of time. As you can see, there are manually controlled seats. We have a rear tilt, we have a height adjustment, and forward and backwards is found just on the front on that rail there. I'm just going to jump inside the vehicle. You're going to hear a little bit of distortion on a microphone, so please just bear with me for a moment. Okie dokie. So, remote central locking with key. That will go straight into the barrel. Foot depressed on the clutch. Turn the key once. That will gain us power to the vehicle. Let me just turn the radio off before we have a copyright infringement on our hands. Okay, to begin with, I'm going to give you a tour round the dashboard. That screen in the middle I shall be controlling using the arrows and OK button on the right hand side of the steering wheel. To begin, this here is an analog speedo, so you have miles per hour around the outside with kilometers an hour in the middle. Excuse me. At the bottom of that menu we have a fuel gauge, and we have a handbrake warning sign and a seatbelt warning sign in the middle. In the screen at the middle we have the digital display, so we are currently in the menu of the car at the top left. So you can go down there, we have different journeys, so trip computers, accumulated total, instantaneous fuel economy, we have battery voltage, live tyre pressures like I mentioned earlier, so you can see the temperature and the pressure, and we have a digital speedo as well. If I was to click right on that menu, we can get into your settings such as your speed warning and next service. Further right is your warning information, so obviously at the moment no faults. At the bottom we have the time, so almost 2:45, and we also have the odometer. So the exact mileage on this vehicle is 18,444. The right hand side is a conventional RPM gauge. This counts the revolutions of the crankshaft times 1,000. This is also known as the output power of the vehicle. So losing the zoom now, we can go back to the steering wheel. So again, using the arrows on the right hand side. Below it is a voice command button. This is an essential button if you use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I'll come back to this in a minute. We have a programmable button just here. Again, this is perfect for Apple CarPlay. To the left hand side of the steering wheel we have your media controls. We have volume up, a volume down, mute, previous and next song function. Just below it we have a phone pickup, which also doubles up to be a phone decline also. SRC is input source of the radio. You might not use this button very often, but it will change between maybe your radio and your Bluetooth input. Progressing the video into the central reservation, we have a beautiful little cubby hole there to keep all your belongings in. This is a manual handbrake. Often get asked about this. Is it all electric these days? No. Manual handbrake on the 1.5 Excite. 5-speed manual gearbox just here. Very positive sensation going into gear. You can see the click as it goes in. Big fan of this gearbox. I've used it quite often. Very nice, especially when you get into fifth and sitting on the motorway. Drives beautifully. In front of that we have 3 additional buttons. The furthest left is hill descent control. I know you might joke, we live in Essex. Well, I live in Essex. Perkins is in Essex, typically the flattest county of the land. You might not be needing that very often, but if you did go further afield, that might come in handy. The one in the middle is traction control off, and that one there is to turn on and off, or turn off the automated stop-start. In the cubby hole in front of us, we have 2 more USB-A charging ports. Again, that's 2.1 amps of charging. And to the left-hand side, we have a 12-volt socket. Please note the USB in the middle has the little device sign next to it. That is a data port, perfect for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which I shall come to in just a second. Above it, we have a lovely parade of buttons here. So we have a home button, we have a volume up and down, on and off for the heating, ventilation and air conditioning, front demist, rear demist, we have fan speed down or up and temperature down or up. And notice we also have the readout on the screen as well. Okay, so let's digest this beautiful 12-inch I believe colour touchscreen FICM module. So I'll give you a quick tour around what we're looking at. Starting at the bottom, phone is for Bluetooth audio. We can have pictures via a USB stick. We have different setup options in there. Then we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So most of you, I'm guessing, will have a computer sat in your pocket, and that is your mobile telephone. On modern vehicles, they have a system, either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which means you can plug your phone in using a USB data cable down there, and it shall pretty much mirror your phone onto this screen here. So we all know it's essential not to be using your phone whilst driving. So what they've done is put your phone onto the screen. But they are voice controlled applications. For example, if your phone is connected and you've received a text message, it will read that text message out in the car. If you'd like to reply, you can simply use your voice to reply to that text message. And equally, excuse me, on the right hand side of the steering wheel, remember that voice command button. Well, on your phone you'll have a voice assistant, either Siri or Google Assistant, depending if you're Apple or Android, and you can summon your voice assistant and ask it to do whatever you like, really. So I'm Siri, so I say, hey Siri, what's the weather like tomorrow? Siri, call home, set my navigation to Tesco's, play Robbie Williams, anything you like, but it's all hands-free, which is essential whilst you're driving along. So to digest the coloured tiles, left-hand side is all your media. So we have DAB, FM, AM and Bluetooth audio at the bottom. Again, home button, bottom left. In car, we have additional car settings. So we have different comfort and convenience, such as lighting. In other, this is where you can program that star button on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, either to be a home button, a smartphone, or bring up your car settings. I think this is very clever for a vehicle such as this. We do have 3 individual steering modes. So just briefly, in urban, if you're going around an urban situation, the steering wheel becomes nice and light, so you can throw it around nice and easily. Normal, it's just normal steering mode. But in dynamic, it's best of both worlds. So at faster speeds, the steering becomes nice and heavy, giving you ultimate control. But then again, at lower speeds, it becomes very light, so you can throw the steering wheel around. It's a really nice feature for this ZS. And finally, on the right hand side, we have the screen for the heating, ventilation and air conditioning, HVAC. So at the top we have on and off, air conditioning and recirculation. Down the left hand side, different flows of vents, fan speed and temperature can be found at the bottom there as well. If I was to pop the vehicle into reverse, this will then wake up the rear parking sensors. You heard the bleep to begin with. Then it comes up with a proximity sensor, which will give you an intermittent beep that shall increase in frequency as you get closer to the object behind. On the MGs, it'll actually give you a physical distance as well. So if, for example, you're 60 centimetres away, it will say 60 centimetres. So it's a very accurate parking aid. So back in to neutral. Before I disappear, there is one other bit of specification I'd like to talk to you about, and that is cruise control. So cruise control on the ZS is found just by your left knee. I find it a very ergonomic place to keep it. So it's on standby currently. One flick towards you puts it into active mode. click the button at the end of the selector, the stalk there, and that will then set your speed. You can then adjust your speed in increments of 5 miles per hour by knocking it up or down, or you can do increments of 1 miles per hour if you long press it up or long press it down. So very lovely. If you're sitting on a motorway, it's fantastic for your MPG. Anyway, I think I've covered a lot here today. Thanks for watching. If you did have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below or get in contact using the number 01376 550 899. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye bye for now.